So welcome to the third episode of this tutorial, and in the last episode we just created a simple record test that could do quite a lot for a few minutes of work. But now we're gonna make it a little more sophisticated, and we're gonna add validations in the test as well. So the first thing we want to do is we want to go to our server where the page is, and this is basically my e-commerce site that I wanted to test, and I'll access the HTML fragment where I was, and I will just log in. Forgot a letter. So basically this now is logging me into the cloud, and as basically we're logging into the cloud, we will see all my projects here. Some might be on this site, some might be on others, but this fashion site is actually the site where we're in right now. And to recall, if we want to look at the one we recorded, we can replay it and we can see it launching and adding the stuff to the cart as we did before. One thing to note here, that basically this URL will contain this test because this is referencing the cloud, so this can be shareable with anyone in your team or across any browser. But let's create a more sophisticated test. Let's say that we want to validate the actual adding of items, that stuff are being added into the cart. So let's create a new test, and let's call this validate cart. So basically what we want to do now is we want to run another record where we want to add validation steps as we go along. So we start by opening the page by putting the slash in, and then we'll again start another record. So what we can do now is we'll basically do the same thing as before. We will navigate to the shop page. We will add the things to cart, the bag and the shoes, the ninjas here. And then let's say we want to validate the contents in the shopping cart. So in order to do that now, we can actually use this little a DOM picker in the corner, and then we can click on the flying ninja to verify that the flying ninja in the DOM tree has been added, and the same thing here at the happy ninja. So for instance, if there would be some sort of discrepancy where they wouldn't have been added, this would have been given an error, and I will demonstrate that. So let's stop this recording and then see if we can replay this just as I ran it right now. We can also look into one of these validations. It's a lot of information here right now, but if you look at the description, it's basically saying that the DOM tree contains the happy ninja. So let's run this. Let's kill the report for now. Let's rerun it and see if the validation goes through. And typically here you would have a test case that will also clear the cart, but as you can see, you see both the validations going through successfully. And just to simulate, usually would be, for instance, if the code had changed and something would have been wrong, you would have seen it that way. So it's an excellent way to capture things with regression tests, etc. But one thing you can do here, for instance, I could say, okay, it's supposed to be happy samurai, right? And not happy ninja because it changed its name. And now I'm going to replay it and just see what we're doing. And just for demonstration purpose, I will also clear the cart here. And I'm going to rerun it. And now we should get a validation failure there. Just want to... So this is very useful when you do a lot of regression tests to make sure that things are already working. And we're going to see now clearly highlighted that it didn't work out. And then there's a very good thing here. You have this get link that will take you straight to the test, and also the diff that will highlight the diff. But if we go into this now, we can clearly see that this is the test that failed, and it also says the actual result does not match the expected results. So that is it's very, very easy to find and to create regression tests in the matter of minutes. And there is also one very, very, very useful functionality I want to point out, and this is the bug reference. So let's say you've run through this already and you see that there is a bug. So if you're in the QA team, you can also create now a bug reference that will highlight a bug. So let's do this. Say, let's pick out and say, we pick the element and we put, let's see, a little problematic. Let's play it again to make sure that it's loaded properly, and then we'll add the bug reference.